Today I'm going to show you how to create a gradient color in GIMP step by step in a simple way that you can follow even if you're just getting started. Gradients are a great way to add depth, style, and a more professional look to your designs, whether you're making banners, thumbnails, posters, or social media graphics. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to choose your colors, apply the gradient, and fine-tune it so it looks clean and polished. If you find this helpful, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more easy GIMP tutorials. Alright, let's get into it. First, open your project in GIMP. Once your image or canvas is loaded, head over to the toolbox and look for the gradient tool. It usually looks like a small rectangle fading from one color to another, almost like black blending into white. If you want to save time, you can also press the G key on your keyboard, and that will activate the gradient tool right away. This is the tool you'll use to blend two colors smoothly across your canvas. Next, you need to choose the colors for your gradient. At the bottom of the toolbox, you'll see the foreground and background color squares. These two colors are what GIMP will use to build the gradient. Click the top square to pick your starting color, which is your foreground color. Then click the bottom square to choose your ending color, which is your background color. You can use any color combination you want, and this is where you can get creative. For example, you could use blue and purple for a modern look, or orange and yellow for something brighter and more energetic. After that, take a look at the Tool Options dock, usually found below the toolbox. This is where you can control how the gradient behaves. Find the gradient option and click the preview box. From the list, select FG to BGR GB. This tells GIMP to blend from the foreground color to the background color you just selected. Then look for shape. Shape controls how the gradient spreads across the image. If you want a straight blend from one side to another, choose linear. If you want a soft circular effect, choose radial. There are other options too, but linear and radial are the most common and easiest to start with. Now it's time to draw the gradient on your canvas. Click and hold your mouse where you want the gradient to begin. Then drag your cursor to the point where you want it to end. When you release the mouse button, GIMP will create a gradient line with control nodes. The direction and length of this line determine how the gradient appears, so don't worry if it doesn't look perfect on the first try. You can always adjust it. If you want to fine-tune the result, you can move the line by clicking and dragging the endpoints. This lets you change the angle or the length of the gradient, which is really useful if you want a diagonal effect or a more dramatic transition. You can also drag the small midpoint slider on the line. This adjusts how quickly the two colors blend together. If you move it one way, one color may dominate more, and if you move it the other way, the transition can become more balanced. This little adjustment can make a big difference in how polished the final result looks. Once you're happy with the position and blend, press Enter on your keyboard to lock the gradient in place. That confirms your change and applies it to the canvas. At this point, you've successfully created a gradient color in GIMP. It may seem simple, but once you understand these basic steps, you can use gradients in all kinds of creative ways throughout your projects. And that's it. You now know how to create a gradient color in GIMP from start to finish. If this video helped you out, please give it a like, subscribe for more beginner-friendly GIMP tutorials, and let me know in the comments what software tutorial you want to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.